Hello. So Ryan Walters here, definitely for the first take, along with Matthew Binns. Matt.
Hello again.
We're done listening to Queen. So that's enjoyable. That's finished. And yeah, we saw a very entertaining first half tonight. So, I mean, overall, I think it was a pretty fun game.
Yeah, I thought Incheon actually played quite well at the beginning. I mean, the goal was gifted to them. Defensive mix-up at the back for Sangju. Just let Magosa through, and you don't let that man through on goal. But yeah, it was fairly end-to-end. Sangju got themselves back into it, and through Park Young-ji as well, former Incheon man, coming back. And it was all right for the first half. It was the second half where it kind of went a bit wrong. In the first half, Incheon lost their goalkeeper. Jung-sang went down with an injury. They brought on Itae, who I thought did a reasonable job.
He did a serviceable job. I mean,
he didn't catch the ball, but not many Korean goalkeepers seem to in this league. But he was all right for what he had to do. But it did mean Incheon used a substitute. Right. It meant that they used one of their potential ways of changing it. And then 10 minutes into the second half, Magosa pulls up, and he comes off injured as well. So again, Incheon are forced into another substitution. 2 minutes later, Sangju score, and Incheon have got not many options left on the bench to try and change things all of a sudden.
Right, especially as they found themselves eventually chasing the game. By the way, John Christian's tuning in from the Himalayas, so hi John. Thanks for watching.
Hope the weather's all right over there.
Yeah. How is the weather over there, John? Anyway, for those that aren't watching for John, you should be, because John's magnificent, and we're happy to see you watching, buddy. But yeah, tonight for Incheon, well, I think the biggest difference was Sangju when they got the lead. I mean, they played well to get the lead. They dominated most of the game, and then when they had it, they were able to defend really well.
Yeah, Sangju were very organised at the back. I think that may also be partly down to Incheon's lack of creativity. There is Sangju did gift them the goal tonight, and thank God they did, because I think Incheon could have been here all night and still wouldn't have created an opportunity. They only had 4 shots on target tonight, Incheon, and 2 of them were, they were unmarked. One of them should have just put his foot through the ball. The other was a side pass into the goalkeeper. There's no ruthlessness in front of that net when they do finally create a chance, but creating a chance in the first place seems to be a big issue with this Incheon team.
Well, it was a mixture of, at times, cluelessness, and at other times just seemingly panic. They did so well in possession, and they did so well to get themselves into dangerous positions, but then when they did, most of the time, and I didn't count to get these, this isn't a stat that I necessarily want to keep on teams, they just had their head down and just booted it in the middle, hoping that someone was there, and they were in good positions. They just never were able to do anything with it because of just these errant crosses to no one.
Speaking of keeping a head down, the number of times Incheon's right back played it back to the centre back, and the centre back was asleep, and they
almost got caught out.
Well, they did. That's how the second goal came about. The second goal for Incheon, Itae, the striker, did confuse us when the goal went in, because we thought that is the keeper. Sangju's Itae took the ball and he struck it from distance. It was a great goal, but yeah, it was handed to him on a plate, in my opinion. I worry for this Incheon team. I mean, it is early days, and it's Christmas when Incheon are surviving relegation, but it just feels different this time. I feel like there's been a lot of replacements in the winter window, and they lost some big names as well.
They did,
and they've lost a manager who was playing attacking football, and they've got all this turnover over sudden. I mean, at least the new manager, he's got a summer ahead of him. There's a summer window. He can try to change things. I mean, the season's far from over, but I don't know, something doesn't feel right this time about Incheon, and watching them today, I really felt that.
The slump has lasted a little bit longer than it has in previous years. I think in previous years we've seen them not perform well, be at the bottom of the table, but there were a few glimmers of hope, and there were a few players that you could hang your hat on. I think Magosa is certainly still that player, but you and I talked about this walking into the stadium tonight. If things keep going this way, is Magosa still here after the summer window? Because there have been plenty of rumors of other K-League teams that have been interested in him, and an interleague transfer I think would be really strange, but if the money is right, then maybe that happens.
I didn't think Magosa would be here after this season anyway. Not because he doesn't love the club or anything. I thought they extended his contract at the beginning of the season. I think that was mainly just to tie him down, so if they do sell him, they get a fee for him.
Exactly.
So I always thought that he's got one season here and he would go somewhere else, which is a shame because the fans love him here and he is one of the bright points in this Incheon team. But yeah, it's worrying for Incheon. I don't know. They can't afford to go down because there's talent. The remaining talent in this team will be quickly stripped, and it'd be a tragedy. This club's it's got great fan base, great stadium, great everything. It's too early to damn them to relegation, but at the same time, there is serious cause for concern, I feel.
I think they're going to be in or around there, and but the thing of it is, Sangju always has to deal with their mass summer exodus. That's going to happen for them. But before we go any further, we are talking a lot about Incheon and how poorly they performed tonight, and unfortunately I do feel like they did perform pretty poorly, but Sangju came here with a decent game plan, and I think that's what carried them through, right? Because we talked about this, Song Shiu being back in front of the former home faithful here, being back in Incheon, where he was a super sub. I think he struggled starting tonight, and he
still struggles to start for Sangju. It struggles to start wherever he plays by the looks of things. He's not done that well in Sangju. I know he's probably one of the top scorers, but Sangju doesn't have a lot of top scorers, let's be honest.
He was all sorts of out of sorts tonight. He fell down in front of the home end here to start the game, just was trying to force too many things early, and then I think that played into his head too much, and then he was trying to force passes late on instead of being more ruthless. Just not a great night from him, but again, I think Sangju came here with a game plan, and they were able to play through their starting striker not having a strong match, and they got the result. They came and they got 3 points on the road. Credit to them.
Well, they made their chance. It's not it's the post-match stats. Obviously, the full. And I'm just going to go with shots on target just here, but 12 shots, 11 on target. They when they
you're going to do well.
When they had a chance, they tested the keeper, and you can't say the same for Incheon, which is it's Sangju played very well today, and I think it showed as well from the bench. They brought on Shim Dong-un, who is a great player, and having him to draw from on the bench as well. When Incheon were already kind of on the ropes a bit, it kind of killed off the game a bit, and I don't know what to say.
Squad depth is also another thing that I think Incheon's going to have to be leery of, especially with these injuries piling up like this. And like you were saying, injuries forcing 2 substitutions tonight means that there was no Win Kwon Fong tonight, who I'll admit was one of the reasons that I came out here tonight. Wanted to see him in person. But it is stifling things right now. And Magosa was out for a really long time with an injury, so you hope that that's nothing major tonight, because they just have to have him out there. They have to have him out there. They went 11 hours without scoring a goal. And you can't have that happen again. But it's Incheon. I'm telling you, the great escape is in them. They're going to do it. They're going to do it. Also because I think it'll be interesting to see who else is down towards the bottom of the table. And going into this weekend now, with this match, teams like Jeju know that a win would be massive for them. So it'll be really interesting to see how the other teams play off of this match tonight, going into the weekend. And previews for that are all over the site on KLeagueUnited.com if you want to check those out, or on KLeague.com you can get an entire rundown of the K1 and K2. It's all over the place. But for now, we have a train to catch.
We do. Yeah. So
we got to get back to Seoul. But always lovely coming out here. And if you have any questions, comments, or reactions from this match or any of the other matches, leave them in the comments. And if we can't get to them during a video, we will get to them during one of our podcasts. But for now, thanks for watching. And I'm going to unawkwardly turn off the camera. Go listen to Queen. It's in my head. I don't know why. It's like we heard it like 5 times. Anyway, good night.